Hey guys, just finished watching Daredevil Season 3, Episode 9, Revelations. Oh, whoa, what an episode. This so far is my favorite episode of this season. Like, everything is ramping up. I really have like 3 or 4 episodes left. So it's really cool. It's really excited to see as to where things are going to go. There's so much happens in this episode. Yet, I kind of have less... I'm trying to make this review a little bit less shorter there, but let's go into this. The first thing we get into, we pick right up from last episode when Matt finds out that Sister Maggie is his mother and type thing. That was really cool. When he gets mad, instead of going to her, he goes to Father Langton, and he's kind of mad at him for not telling him from the beginning that she is his mother is alive type thing. I guess he was told, isn't clear, I guess he was told as a child that his mother was kind of dead or something like that. We do find out that she had postpartum syndrome and also felt guilty because she broke her vow of chastity, even though she hadn't really had her vow just yet, and I think it was a really cool kind of flashback to seeing that, especially with having Battle and Jack Murdoch, flashbacks and also inside of Matt's head throughout this episode was kind of cool. We see that later on, the next big thing we get is we see Agent Tammy ends up killing Agent Wynn, revealing that she works for Wilson Fisk. So Ray ends up bringing all kinds of information. He had called in the last episode, called her to try and set up a meetup type thing, and she kills Wynn, revealing that she is, under the control of Wilson Fisk. And then later on, we get a reveal that a bunch of the high-ranking agents are working for Fisk, and we also get the reveal that Poindexter is later on put back into the FBI. So he also probably has some politicians and some people even higher up than the New York City Department of the FBI, because it's clear that he doesn't have everyone, but he has the high-ranking enough people to matter. So if anyone else in the New York section of the FBI, were to try and do anything, they'd be able to take him out because they're higher ranking than them. So he has the more higher ranking members, on his payroll, under his grasp type thing. So under his control. I think that's really cool to see that, because the FBI. There's no way Wilson Fisk would be able to have the entire FBI under his control. It just wouldn't make sense, because there's other departments in other cities and all that stuff, and the fact that they report very high up the chain straight to the president, if not even higher than the president type thing. So there's no way that he would be able to kind of take control of everything, but he does have pretty much a huge control, and I think that would be an interesting idea to see. I'm not sure if we're going to see that with how many episodes are left, but for some reason, if this season ended with Wilson Fisk still being alive, having him having him control like this, and keeping the FBI under his control could be something that could be quite interesting for another season. And I think that could be a setup for maybe like a Defenders 2 type thing. Although a lot of the, I could see a lot of the actors, like Kristen Ritter and a lot of the different people have said that there's no talk of a Defenders season 2. So I think it would be cool to see as to where things would go with this, because I'd like to see exactly how much control does he have. We also see the reveal that Karen Page is kind of running away from stuff after she revealed to him that she killed Wesley and stuff. So we see that Fisk ends up meeting some of the other crime bosses, and he offers them kind of protection from investigation and from the law type thing. And I think how he phrases it is pretty much protection from any investigations completely. The FBI would be able to stop, especially the high-ranking members he has, would be able to stop, the local police and all that stuff, the NYPD and all that, things like that. But I think it would be cool to see as to how far things would really go from that. Is he able to? He's controlling in New York City, but if things happen over in California, what would happen there if these guys are shipping stuff from California? The FBI over there starts getting a wind of things. How are things going to go there? Because assumingly there's someone else just as high ranking as SAC Tammy, or Special Agent in Command Tammy Hetley. And I think that was kind of interesting. Assuming there's another person like her higher ranking over there, if not higher, in other provinces, in other states and stuff. So I think that would be kind of interesting thing to see as to how far does his reach really go. Now, similarly, we have had some talks about throughout the season about the other criminals that he helped put in prison. Like the one he's framed them for stabbing him. Can't think of their name, but the ones who attacked the cartel, the convoy in the beginning of the season, they had a politician with them, and so he's taking them out so that he can use the politicians type thing. And I think that is an interesting idea. Or at least it wasn't clear. I think it's kind of, he had the politicians. He attacked them because they had the politician. Then clear the politician was taken down with them. I think they were, from what I heard. But we'll have to wait and see as to just where things go with this. How far really does his reach go? Because at what point, he doesn't have the president, underneath his control. Although the president has been underneath his control, if they still have the same president from Iron Man 3, I think. And then we've seen that president also appear on that actor has played the president on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I think it would be cool to see if we see him back, and if he doesn't have that much control, because then at what point does Wilson Fisk his reach go to so far as to get a Captain America, Iron Man, all these characters their attention type thing, right? It's technically in the same universe, so there should have some. It should be like, you can't go too big. The whole thing about these shows is that they stay relatively small enough that it's still believable that the Avengers would never even bother to hear about any of this stuff because it's such a small story that doesn't really leave New York City, and when they're busy dealing with Thanos, Ultron, Loki, things like that are never really bothered with these things. So I think it's going to be cool to see as to where things kind of go with all that, as to how far really his reach is type thing. So we see that Matt goes to, Fisk has a meeting with the crime bosses, and it also was supposed to be a trap for Daredevil to show up, and he doesn't show up, and Matt ends up going to Fisk's room. He meets kind of the one girl type thing, and he finds out that Karen Page is actually looking. He overhears that the FBI has found Karen Page, and they're going to go after her. And so that's where we're going to end next season, because Karen Page had found out from Maggie that Matt has run off because he found out that she's his mother and all that stuff. So Karen Page is hanging out with Maggie at Sister Maggie, and she's supposed to help her go on the run type thing so she can have shelter somewhere else. So I think it's really going to be cool to see as to where things go with that. Also, I'd love to know who is on Fisk's payroll, who is Fisk controlling inside of the church. That would be something interesting. Is it someone important? Yeah, is it Father Langton? That could be interesting. I don't know, but I doubt they're going to use that character, just because he would have known that Matt is Daredevil a long time ago. Tammy, I don't think Matt's mother there, Tammy Hetley, I don't think she's working for Fisk, but I think it'd definitely be interesting to see as to where things kind of go with that and how things go. And we also have another little bit I forgot was that Fisk even got Foggy's family's butcher shop in the loop, and so if the way they did some illegal books and stuff, and if that ever gets out, Foggy's brother will go to jail, and so will his parents type thing. So I think that's interesting to see where things go with that, how things are going to come back around when there, and I think it's going to be cool to see how things kind of get all roped up and stuff, and how did Fisk have all the time to do this? Because if we go back to season 2, when he's trying to get Frank Castle out of prison, it did say that he was out of money. So who knows? Maybe some things that have happened. It doesn't seem like he needed too much money to do a lot of this stuff. But how much money was, almost running out of money type thing? And really, it'd be curious to see. I would like to know as to how he went from having almost no money at the end of. In Daredevil season 2, and then he's like, we don't want to touch Vanessa's money, and he would never touch Vanessa's money. I don't ever believe that he would dip into that, but I think it'd be cool to see as just to where he's been making some of his money here and there type thing. But now he's going to be making a ton of money as he gets 25% of the criminals left. I don't remember how many were there, but there were a couple of them, so that'd be cool to see all of that. So really excited to see as to where things kind of go for the rest of the season. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 3, Episode 9, Revelations, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.